underrated hidden gem. But you know what? Maybe we can change that.
Huh, like that's ever gonna happen. Giguk was right. Odd Taxi is truly anime of the year. It helped bring back my wife and children, devout all earthly possessions to Odd Taxi. A high school girl has gone missing in Nimira City, Tokyo. She's been unreachable since she left her home late at night. And welcome to Tokyo, where you'll meet a range of people with their own lives and stories to tell. We've got style, charisma, and the most lovable smiles you'll ever see. When I initially started this show, way back when it was first airing, I thought it was a cool niche show with an interesting mix of characters, sharp dialogue, and was definitely building up to a narrative far greater than it was letting on. Then I got to episode 2 that had a cliffhanger ending that had me waiting anxiously for the next episode, and I ended up not watching it. But now I've been seeing all these different videos from different YouTubers telling me to pick it up again, and I reluctantly binged the entire show in one night. Odd Taxi doesn't even feel like an anime to me, as its converging storylines, unique characters, and poignant dialogue is such a sharp contrast to the usual types of anime we used to see. Maybe it's the juxtaposition of cute animal designs of the characters with the darker world it presents. All the way the dialogue is used like it's from a certain director that no one has made a comparison to. But Odd Taxi is such a fresh breath air. What the fuck? But Odd Taxi is such a breath of fresh air to enjoy for how it handles basically everything about it. From its initial presentation, you'd expect Odd Taxi to be harmless furry bait. I mean, I grew up playing Sonic, so you tell me how I feel about that. But its narrative goes far deeper than just, oh, it's animals on screen. There's just so much more to offer here. There's so much payoff into re-watching episodes to find small nuggets of information and scenes you may have overlooked initially. Like there's constant callbacks to different objects and pieces of the dialogue that if you paid attention to everything, you might notice a few hints of, wait, what the hell did they just say? The more you learn about its cast and its world, it slowly evolves into a mystery/psychological anime while still looking like an Animal Crossing spinoff. Whether it's the showbiz world, a small clinic, or the underground criminal organization of Tokyo, there's always a mystery to be solved and connections to be made. And so many of these different characters' stories don't even feel like they would mesh like well together, but somehow in some twisted way, it just all makes sense in the end, and you're just sat there like, this is some fucking Writers Guild shit. It's like that domino effect where if one character makes a certain choice, that's gonna impact another character's life in a way they probably weren't even aware of, but it still happens, and then another thing happens, and then bruh. I mean, it presents itself like this huge big brain like interweave narrative that just slaps so hard. Like, how is this script so tight? Like, I'm sat here recording and I even wrote a script, but now I'm just going off it. Like, how do people just think of this shit and then make it connect so well? I don't know. I'm gonna take a break while I have a mental breakdown. When it comes to the characters of Odd Taxi, there's a character you or someone you know can relate to. Are you someone who's desperate for love and would do anything for some action outside of just fucking getting an OnlyFans? Are you aiming to become someone famous by doing anything possible like the filthy cloud chaser you are? Or are you willing to devote any amount of money so you can pull your favorite femboy from a gacha game? Well, there's a character for everyone. And interestingly enough, Odd Taxi utilizes these tropes and twists it in a way where these characters' choices are a lot darker reflection on the type of people they're based off of. I mean, there's so many cases like what happens when you want to be the only idol people should look at? Or how far will you go to satisfy your empty love life? And will your addiction push you off into the deep end or something far worse? And without spoiling anything, I'd say that the most of these stories all have a sense of drive towards something either unattainable or something they've struggled to get for most of their lives. These stories can get super relatable in how we tackle life and whether we lose part of ourselves running after that dream. Maybe they should have gotten a taxi. This is why no one likes and subscribes. But by far my favorite character has to be the main protagonist, Odokawa. With all these different characters in play, Odokawa sticks out to me for his desire to just live a normal life without getting into too much trouble. He doesn't have many goals or ambitions, but he gets to live life the way he'd want to. I mean, that all changes when a certain monkey comes into his life. But it's endearing to see such a chill protagonist. I mean, it gets really tiring to get a main character that's either a stand-in for the viewer or an over-the-top personality or just being fucking boring. But Odokawa is just Odokawa. Nothing complicated at all. And obviously there's a lot more to this character than what I'm letting on, but that's spoiler territory, so I guess I have to leave it at that. If you want to watch a show that definitely deserves your attention and is written unlike any modern anime that's come out recently, then I highly recommend Odd Taxi. I think people who enjoy film and more independent art would love this show, as its strong script makes it so gripping and different and executed so well, but with so much different types of contrasting themes of the art style and how good the soundtrack is. I didn't even get to talk about the soundtrack. It's a banger, my dude. And you know, shout out to all the other YouTubers making videos on Odd Taxi, because honestly, I wouldn't have picked up this anime if I didn't know that it would end so satisfyingly and have such a great narrative. Wow. And yeah, I kept this video quite short and kind of vague because there's just way too much to talk about this show that's just spoiler after spoiler, so I'd rather do some sort of recommendation like a why you should watch Odd Taxi instead of a whole deep dive analysis. But you know, if you want a spoiler case too, since I know Big Al is watching Odd Taxi, comment down below, please. I would love to just fucking talk about this anime, spoilers and everything. It would be so great because the script is so good. Like, it's so fucking good, dude. Like, what the f— But anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.